Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Chad.
This week we watched Freaky.
That's me, Millie. My life was pretty normal until the night I switched bodies with a serial killer.
Hello? Oh my god, why do I sound like that?
Freaky, right?
Don't freak out. Really? It's me, it's Millie. Here, Blissfield, high, feel our glory and our might.
Oh my god!
He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes, I'm some kind of freak, 'cause they
Who knows how many of our friends he's gonna kill?
Oh my god, it's a slaughterhouse.
I want my body back.
Come and get it.
You're black! I'm gay! We are so dead!
Whoa, what am I wearing?
Oh my god, it's supposed to be a butcher!
If you get recognized, we are screwed.
I can't see shit. How do killers do this? Oh, sorry. Oh, that's your face. Okay.
I'm just a girl. I can't wait to kill you. I'm just a girl.
Time to stab this asshole.
I'm just a girl. Yes, I'm some kind of freak.
Stop! I'm trying to stab myself!
Great. Murder Barbie.
I'm just a girl.
So we just watched this movie, literally not an hour ago.
Yeah, we just got back from the theater where we were 2 of the 4 people in the theater. So it was easy to social distance in there because we each had our own side of the theater.
Yeah, we were like praying that we had the whole theater to ourselves, but unfortunately someone decided, you know what? This movie is perfect for my, 7 to 8-year-old child.
Let me just go ahead and bring them on in here to the R-rated movie. That's fine.
I don't know if it was a brother. I don't know if it was a father. And hey, you know what? That's your kid. Hopefully that's your kid and that's not your brother. I mean, maybe they're cool. I don't know. I wouldn't bring my child to that movie. So that was who was enjoying the film with us.
I've seen worse. I'll never get over. I went to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at a midnight show, and some woman brought 4 kids that were all 5 and under. They were horrified. They cried through the entire movie.
That's terrible. And, wow, I mean, a lot of therapy for those children.
Yeah, as we were leaving, there were 2 guys there. They were, like, walking out with me, and they're like, that is so fucked up. My brother's 14, and I wouldn't bring him to this movie.
Yeah.
You know?
So this film is a Freaky Friday situation from the writers of Happy Death Day.
Yep, Christopher Landon and Michael Kennedy.
And you get the feeling right off the bat that these writers are obsessed with the number 13 because Happy Death Day
had that a lot in it, and then this one does too. Of course, it takes place mostly on Friday the 13th.
Yes, they start off kind of like, I feel like Student Bodies also did the thing. They worked their way, or they made fun of it right off the bat, like it was like Jamie Lee Curtis's birthday,
This one starts off immediately. I love it where it just says Wednesday the 11th.
Yeah, there's a countdown.
Like, okay, that's kind of funny.
And Michael Landon has said that this is kind of like Christopher Landon. I'm so sorry. I keep thinking of Michael Landon, who that is Christopher Landon's father. If you don't know who Michael Landon is, look it up. Right off the bat, I was thinking, okay, this film is like going to be a total Freaky Friday situation, obviously, from right off the bat from the trailer. Vince Vaughn is in it, as all of you probably already know. And, we have the cats joining the podcast now. Meow, meow, meow. And his leading lady
is Kathryn Newton is her name.
Now, I'm going to go, before we kind of like get into the movie, she plays the character of Millie and Vince Vaughn is deemed the butcher. This, right after, they kind of like start with the movie with kind of like an urban legend kind of feeling. And that's what Landon has stated. Like, this is a mix of like The Blob, urban legend.
Fright Night, Scream.
Yeah, Scream 2, which I don't get Fright Night. I don't get The Blob. I don't get... What I get is... if I had to sum it up to somebody, I would say this is a Freaky Friday meets Scream meets Jumanji.
Yeah.
That's how I would...
That would be that would work out. And the beginning of this is like the Friday the 13th movie we've been waiting like over a decade for. Because it just jumps right in with like, after they explain a little bit of like, hey, this is what the butcher has been like, and everyone's, it's an urban legend. Immediately, Vince Vaughn shows up and starts killing people in the most gruesome ways possible. There's some real, like, kind of throwback, old school Friday the 13th kind of kills in this, you know?
For real. And, you know, Vince Vaughn, he has the stature, he has the build, and he's wearing a mask only in the beginning part of the film. And he has just, like, the complete presence of, you know, Jason Voorhees character.
Yeah, he even does a great where he just jumps through a door.
The jumping through the fucking door was, like, fantastic. Like, it didn't even look like he jumped through the door. It looked like he just, like, walked through it and it just, like, shattered amazingly. It was really good effect. And the kills were fresh kills, and they were, like, fucking, like, whoa, shit.
It's one of those things when you see him that you just go, oh, fuck. You know, there was some good stuff. Like, if they had started a Friday the 13th movie off like this, it would be amazing. Everybody would be talking about it's the greatest Friday the 13th since, like, you know, part 4 or whatever.
That's true, for sure. That they would totally say that. When I was sitting there, I couldn't help. I was like, this is Scream, this is Scream, this is Scream, this is Scream. Like, I like couldn't help myself because I was like, these, like, certain things that were happening were very reminiscent. So I'm like, are these... And there's a lot of homages in the film, or is it like I was like, is it an homage / ripoff? Because
a little of both.
It's Shad said it's a little bit of both.
If you do it right, even if you're like ripping off an older movie, it still comes across well if you put a fresh take on it.
I guess I don't know. I have mixed feelings about. I only like the Vince Vaughn aspect in the beginning, but the certain things that happen, and we will have spoilers in this, so we'll just preemptively tell you spoilers. So if you want to see the movie fresh, you know, come back and listen to another one of our episodes. Skip this one. The kill of the Casey Becker, I'm going to call her the Casey Becker girl, who gets it hung-ish, you know, by the freaking whatever, stuck, not nail, but...
Stuck to the wall.
She's stuck to the wall, hanging. The mom coming in, you know, she has the blonde hair, the girl that dies, that gets killed, and the mom and dad coming in from their date and coming in to see their daughter hanging, you know, stuck to the wall, hanging and screaming, that whole thing. I was just like, I don't know. At that moment, I didn't know what to think about the movie. I was like, I don't know about this movie because I already seen these things, and I hate to go to a movie to see something I've already seen. Show me something I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Like, which have an imagination, and they did in some aspects. I have to say, if Vince Vaughn, for me, Vince Vaughn and Miss Newton,
Kathryn Newton,
carried the movie. I didn't really care about everybody else, and there's a lot of character development and some of the other characters, especially her family. I only care about Vince Vaughn because I fucking love Vince Vaughn. Like, he carried this movie. Like, for me, it was all about... I just wanted him on the screen at all times.
Yeah, he did a great job of convincing you that he was
a teenage girl.
Yeah.
And she did a great job convincing us that she was a maniacal, like, sociopathic killer.
Yeah. Because she just had the look when, like, as soon as she woke up and was looking around, you were like, oh, she is crazy.
Yeah, she's a fucking nut, and they both did very well in their roles, especially Vince Vaughn, because I've seen more movies with him than I have with her. She's, you know, fresh, so I'm looking forward to seeing her in other things.
Yeah, because she did a great job in this.
She did a really good job. The other thing I didn't like was the whole, like, boo, I'm a mousy girl that can't stand up for herself, and I got home dramas. I was just a little bored with that too.
But for those who haven't seen anything about it, the basic plot of it is that during the first set of kills in the movie, Vince Vaughn acquires this ancient Aztec dagger, and
Jumanji.
Yeah, through some kind of, you know, magic with that, whenever he stabs Kathryn Newton's character, Millie, they wake up switching places, and the only way to switch back is to steady. You know, he has to be stabbed again.
He has to be stabbed again within 24 hours.
So they've only got one day. They've got till the end of Friday the 13th to fix this.
And what a day it is. The movie was filmed in Georgia, in Covington, Georgia, which you may or may not have listened to a previous podcast where we've discussed Covington, Georgia, because it is the Hollywood of the South. I love Covington. I visited there on one of my birthdays because I have no shame in saying this, I'm a huge fucking Vampire Diaries fan, which that's where the show was filmed. So right off the bat, when they show the tower, the clock tower, I was just like, this is in Covington, because I get so happy when I see it on the screen, because it's just such a lovely place and it just films well. It looks like old time but also fresh place. And I think the area that they used, that's the only area in Covington, I may be wrong, but the other areas, they weren't staple areas where I could point out, oh, I know this, whatever. If I lived in that area in Georgia, I'd probably be more, aware of where this was, filmed. But it was nice to see it on the screen. You do see that area several times as the town square kind of thing, which I love when there's a town square.
But I also love the fact that they spend a little bit of time, I kind of expected them to show Vince Vaughn waking up first with, Millie in his body and go from there. But it surprised me. They show, the killer waking up first. They show, the Kathryn Newton body waking up and with Vince Vaughn in it. And he's just immediately ready to start stabbing people in the house, And I like that they showed a lot of the, even though he didn't know some of these people had been mean to her in the past, he just immediately was like, fuck this, and just started murdering people that pissed him off,
Yeah. And the other, Scream-esque thing is Millie. Her sister's a cop. So it kind of had, the Deputy Dewey,
So she was way more competent than Dewey.
Well, yeah, he was very competent compared to him. So there was another thing there. And then obviously you have to have an officer that's related to her. The story would have not worked well because she's needed. That access to the police department is needed. So as a writer, you do need to fit, certain people to make the story more credible. Because there's no way they'd be able to, there's a murder weapon. Things, there's a murder weapon that they use, the knife. So there's no way they'd be able to get it if there wasn't some kind of connection like that. And, you have it's a typical school. There's the mean girls and, there's the jock assholes. And they live up to all the stereotypes that you would find.
Yeah, this really kind of, to me, felt like it could have been a movie that was made in the late 80s, early 90s. It felt like a slasher from then, except a little bit of different characters, of course, because there's types of characters now they wouldn't use back then.
Yeah, and there were very modern, things in the film that you have to have now in films, so people will be happy about those kind of things, which are fine. It doesn't take away or add anything to the film. It just makes it seem like it's in present day. But if they didn't have those specific things, and you would say, okay, this film could have been in any one of those time frames.
Yeah.
But my gosh, when you see the teacher, wood shop?
Yeah.
Which, an asshole.
By the way, is Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller and Star Trek Generations. He just always plays the terrible guy.
Excuse me, he wasn't the terrible guy in Ferris Bueller. He was this nice guy. Ferris is an asshole. But anywho, I guess it depends on perspective, right?
Yeah.
He's such a fucking asshole in this movie. And they go out of their way to make the people that are assholes in the school, teachers and the students, you just fucking hate them and you want them to die. I mean, I wanted them to die. They just annoyed the shit out of me, which, is wrong, because you shouldn't want your characters to die. You shouldn't be really going for the villain. But I couldn't help but go for the villain, even though the villain was not Vince Vaughn in that moment.
But at the same time, that's the way it was with all the slashers. You didn't go see the new Jason or Freddy movie or whatever because you were like, oh, I really care about the character development of these. I wonder if they will beat Freddy this time. No, you went to see Freddy kill the shit out of a whole bunch of stupid teenagers. And same thing with Jason. So I see that part of it, and I'm like, okay, I'm on board with this.
Yeah, the Blissfield Butcher. What a fucking name. He did not bring bliss, let me tell you, to anyone that he murdered.
I love that Kathryn Newton's character Millie was the mascot, which was a giant beaver. She's dancing around in the beaver suit out there, and of course that leads to a lot of jokes.
Oh my goodness, yes. And then they had like the school like beaver motto, whatever the hell that was. It was like some ridiculous thing. It's just like, no, this is not. This is hilarious.
Yeah, school wouldn't really do that.
With the beaver, I couldn't with that fucking beaver.
It said "We keep chewing" or something like that was the logo.
Yeah, and there's a scene where the first encounter, when they first meet each other, she's just sitting there waiting for her mom. And, you know, many of us have been in this situation where your parent is late to pick you up from school for whatever freak reason. And she's waiting for her mom to get her. And turns out her mom is not going to be getting her. Her sister has to come pick her up. And, you know, this movie's filled with fog, by the way. It was very interesting to me. It's just like, why is there so much fucking fog in this damn movie? Like, it is mad ominous. But I was like, it's the Blissfield Butcher, he kills like right before and on the day of like homecoming. That's like his shtick. And homecoming is coming up, and homecoming is usually around like the end of like October, November. So I guess there might be some fog, you know, but there's just like scenes where they're just like sitting in the car and it's like in the background, and I'm just thinking about like the fog machine blowing like with the fucking fan and the wind. Make sure we get that fog in the back. Make sure we get that fog. Because, you know, we have to make it look creepy, which I thought it was just way too much fog. I know I'm like really, really on this fog thing because it bothered me.
But I love that they show the butcher in Millie's body just going through the school and just, you know, killing people left and right in there. And then, of course, just getting away with it because nobody suspects her, because she's always been the mousy little girl that was pushed around. So she's able to get away with it, or he is able to get away with it just because no one suspects him.
Yeah, there, especially when there's the when Vince Vaughn is in the school and the reveal to the friends is like, oh no, this is my actual friend. This is Millie in Vince Vaughn's body. So now her friends are like with Vince Vaughn, and they finally see Millie's body with the killer in there, the butcher in there, and you know, the butcher just starts screaming, you know, oh, the killer, you know, because they kind of had like that Sydney Ghostface interaction where, you know, she survived, you know, the first encounter, and now the whole town is like, oh, boo-hoo, Millie, she's a survivor. Like, she went through something terrible. Someone tried to kill her. So the cops are already at the school wing, you know. So here she is screaming her ass off when it's like, no, bitch, you're the killer. Like, but she's trying to, like, get, you know, Vince Vaughn killed. Because, I mean, think about it. If you're a killer and you're, like, in a young body, you could do so many things. And you're a woman, like, you're a chick, you're a teenage girl. You're not going to be the first suspect.
Yeah.
Especially if everyone knows you to be like the sweet, like, introverted, like, girl that's like a sweetheart, you know.
You're going to get away with it for a long time.
Yeah. Before anyone, like, really, really finds out, like, what's going on. I love
the fact that they, you know, they went old school with the kills on this. They, you know, didn't hold back on it. When you see people get killed, you're seeing people getting sawed in half, chainsawed, stabbed in the throat. There's all kinds of crazy kills in this, and they're all pretty gory.
They are very gory. I'm not really one for gore, but I did really enjoy it's not like the camera lingering on the gore and there's like all this drippage and crazy bullshit happening. It happens and then we're off to the next scene. Like, it's gruesome and then it's done. But I love the kills in the movie.
Yeah, they did a great job with this. Some good effects on it.
Oh my goodness. I would definitely give this film 3 knives. I was going to say 2.5 knives, but Vince Vaughn really pulled it off for me.
Yeah, he really sells it. So I'm going 3 knives on it as well.
I would love to. There's definitely, I'm sure, going to be a sequel because the knife, you know, gets recovered from the police department. So this is a knife that's going to be floating around somewhere. So who's to say that it's not going to end up?
Now here, I'll say spoilers if anybody hasn't turned off yet that doesn't want to know anything. I'm wondering if there's going to be some more story from the house. You know, the knife was supposedly bought by people who were art collectors. And they bought this knife. It turned out to be magic. We see in the house that they have a hidden room that we never really explored. I wonder if the sequel might follow up with some of that with them. Maybe they have some more strange objects in there or something going on.
Maybe they have the fucking time machine thing or like a replica of it from Happy Death Day.
Yeah, because they've said, I've seen online that that Christopher Landon said he'd love to do a crossover of them where it was called Freaky Death Day. And I don't know, it'd be fun, because it'd be fun to see him actually pull that off, because we've been waiting for another Friday the 13th now for like almost 20 years. So if Blumhouse could pull off and get like a crossover of their own thing going, that'd be kind of fun. I'd watch it even if it was terrible.
Yeah, and then also like the knife thing, like that's how we correlate the Jumanji, because Jumanji, always gets thrown back and, into the ocean or whatever, and someone else picks it up and it just continues, with the rampage in different areas. So this knife could just fall into someone else's hand. So it's a never ending story because the knife, it's still there, that's what's doing all the damage per se.
Yeah.
And just whoever's gonna, get a hold of the knife, whether they have malintent or whatever, I'm sure they're gonna have another freaky moment. I have to say the ending of the film was very interesting to me, and I know in the climate, we have to have girl power, yay girls, yay, women could do anything. And they're all, Vince Vaughn escapes, Michael Myers style. He got fucking shot like 6 times. He got shot like several times. And he survives, like jumps out, like, obviously that's off screen, and he leaves the, ambulance to go get revenge on Millie. And he's after her, and there's a whole fight sequence between the women of the family. And they're gonna take down this monster that's come in and like try to kill their daughter and their sister, because they've already, the whole thing in the movie, which you didn't mention, is like their loss of a father, a year before. So that's the dynamic of the family it's in the healing process. And, this is a bonding moment.
Yeah.
For the women to take back the strength. Oh, there's also coincidentally, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which we did last week or 2 weeks ago. We covered last week.
Yeah.
There's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre moment where there's a chainsaw kill, but it's very, what is the word? Suggestive.
Very phallic.
It was a very phallic, suggestive thing. And let me tell you, they fucking deserve what they got. Big time. So I have to mention that because I do like that scene. It was very funny to me. There was not a lot of gyrating. There wasn't any gyrating, but
yeah, it wasn't exactly like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, but it was close.
I would say it was definitely an homage, whether or not it was a conscious or subconscious one. I think there was. But yeah, that bonding moment. Who's to say, because the co-producer of this is Ryan Turek, right?
Yeah.
Who's doing the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Right? Who's to say that we're not going to see the same bonding thing, because we have different, there's not generations because the grandma wasn't there, but it's a mom and her 2 daughters in this one where they have to take down the killer. In Halloween, we have Jamie Lee Curtis's character, which there's an homage to one of the characters' last name is Strode, and he's one of the dudes in the movie, the love interest. The mom, the daughter, and the granddaughter all get together and have to
take down
Michael. The strength of these women. The three, like a tribe. It's a strong bond of women that are gonna go and fucking kill this dude. How dare he? I don't know. I got a kind of a Halloween, maybe like a flash forward to what we might be seeing in Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the movie. I can't wait for this movie to come out. I'm mad bummed that it's not coming out. They should just release it. It's already done. Why do I have to wait until fucking Halloween of next year? That's bullshit. Oh no, actually this year in Halloween. No, next year in Halloween. Yeah. 2022. 2021. I'm already headed in the future. I'm like, that 2022 should be the last. Hopefully we'll see the last Halloween. For the next 20 years. I'm sure he'll just come back.
He'll get rebooted again.
He'll be a robot when he comes back. He'll be a robot. If they're not going to pass, and I know now we're getting to the Halloween thing, but if they're not going to pass over the baton or the butcher knife per se to the next generation, you know, then just fucking kill him and be done with it. Like, let's just close this chapter. He's motherfucking like 60. He'll be 63. You know?
Well, they did kind of address that in this movie. They did talk about, like, if the Blissfield Butcher's still alive, he'd be like in his 60s now.
They
They're
did.
like, hey, don't underestimate white male rage. That shit can kill like way up into the 70s.
That's true. They actually did fit that right at the beginning of the movie. See, another Halloween thing. I didn't even really catch that what was happening because I was so into like what was happening.
Yeah.
So that's a good catch, Chad. That's a good catch. Yes, we'll dissect more of that later. Definitely. We should just do a whole Halloween. I mean, we did a Halloween one and we literally talked about all the films, but I feel like we didn't really do like justice to the last one. We focused on all the other ones, so we can have another discussion about that. But thank you so guys for joining us this evening or morning or afternoon, whenever you happen to be listening to this.
And if you've seen Freaky, reach out to us. Let us know what you thought of it.
Yeah, let us know. Did you see it at the drive-in? Because we were going to go watch it at the drive-in, and it's actually being shown in a lot of drive-ins, which is how people are watching it. We actually, you know, we have a very small theater here, and we were able to catch it in the actual theater because the drive-in's a little far away from us. But yeah, did you enjoy your time at the drive-in? Did you like the experience? You know, the comeback of the drive-in is probably my favorite thing from this whole quarantine.
Probably the best thing that came out of this is that the drive-in's having a resurgence.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go away. I really love the drive-in. I think it's so fun. It's Americana, like, for sure. Let us know how you feel at staytunedtothehorror@gmail.com. And stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.